I got an ass chewing. Well, not an ass chewing, but I got a talking to by Brian Sullivan. By him telling me that I could do a hell of a lot better things with my life. And that got me thinking. I think I've changed over the last 12 years of my life. I think I've changed. A lot of people say I'm different. A lot of people say that I'm not the same person that they knew back in high school or back, whenever they noticed a change in me. And I've noticed a change in me. Like, when I talk to people, I am not so quick to just, I'm not so quick to just judge them like I used to in the past. Or like I used to say something down about them. I listen to actually what they have to say, and I think, they actually have a pretty good, decent head on their shoulders. But when it comes to me living my life and being who I am, I'm a lot different than I was 20 years ago. And I say this with the utmost respect to Brian. Because, he knows me, but I'll tell you right now, I'm a lot different than I was 20 years ago. And the thing about me that makes me so different now, is this. One, I really do love people. I worry and I care about them a lot. Like, if you came up to me at a bar and you said, something about you wanted me to buy you a drink because you didn't have any money, or you were down, or whatever, I'd buy you everything you want. Because that's the kind of person I am. But then people sit there and they say to me, Jax, you let so many people take advantage of you. But you're the kind of person who would give your shirt, or give your home, or give anything to somebody other than you, because you don't care. Because you want that person to be better off than you. You want that person to be happy. You want that person to feel good about themselves. And, I know people are probably looking at me and going, Jack, why do you do that? Why do you do things for people? Why are you so nice? Why are you so different? Why are you, why are you the first person in the world that would give your shirt off your back for somebody else? It is because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be down on your luck. Be down on your last dollar and hating the world and thinking that nobody loves you. I've been there. And yes, you want to make fun of me and you want to tell me that it's funny that you found God, but dude, I didn't think that I was saved. And I think the only thing for me to do now is to turn. No one likes a negative person. Everybody likes a positive person. Everyone likes a positive person. And, you know, I've said that I've messed up and I've taken responsibilities for what I've done. I've even asked the man upstairs. I've asked him 1,000 times. You know, am I doing the right thing? And he keeps on telling me, yeah, you are. He's putting things in front of me because he's trying to make me give up. But the thing is I'm right there. Now, a lot of people look at this KamoKlauZ thing that I'm doing and they kind of laugh about it. But there are other people that look at this KamoKlauZ thing and they are like, dude, that's from the heart, bro. You really put your best foot forward by being KamoKlauZ. You put your best foot forward for people that you don't even know. Yeah. I mean, the other night, I just realized to myself that, you know, I'm there for everybody. I love people. Yeah, I do. And I really, to this day, think that if I turn around and start doing something for other people, start being a positive role model for them, making them feel good about themselves, maybe something will happen to me. I mean, you can only do so much in your life, but I'll get you guys home. The Traxaholic party bus. Yeah, that's what I want, dude. So I can take all you guys out. You guys can drink as much as you want. And we have a good time. Because I want you guys to have fun while I drive. You know? I want to buy a bus. It's a passenger bus, man. Take everybody to wherever the hell they want to go. That's what I want, man. A party bus, man. I'm gonna find me one. Yeah. Traxaholics Express. I love beef jerky. But sorry, I think I'm changed. I'm a lot different than I was back in the day, man. Back in the day, I did dumb things. I never wanted to save money. I never wanted to have fun. I wanted to have fun, but I never wanted to, I never was taken serious, I don't think. I mean, TJ and Matt Ginnabaugh threw my ass under the bus because they always thought that I was going to be a pornaholic, meaning that I was going to have a lot of porn and I was going to have over so much porn that my computer would fry because of having so much of it. But I actually got rid of all of it. I don't have any porn anymore on my computer. I really don't. I actually I did a freestyle song called I Got Me a Winner, but I Felt Like a Sinner. And the song is basically, I was a guy he felt like he got himself a winner, meaning that he got himself a really, really hot chick that he could be with for the rest of his life, and then he ends up sleeping with her, and then he felt like a sinner because he got her pregnant before they got married. Or they were out of wedlock or whatever. You know? So he felt basically like a bastard. Not he didn't feel like one. I mean, he felt like what he did was wrong. Yeah. He felt like what he did was wrong. And there are guys that feel that way all the time when they have relations with a woman that they don't, when they don't think they're going to be with her. But sometimes you can't worry about that anymore. It's the 90s. Yeah, it's the 90s. But sometimes guys look into things a little bit way too much. And Brian would tell you that I'm looking into things a little bit too much, and that I'm a little bit scared, and that I'm, doing something that I shouldn't. But the one thing that you have to understand about me is that I am totally changing the way that I am nowadays. Like I said, I'm going to be meeting up with a minister from the River of Life Church. It's the River of Life Church in St. Joe. I'm going to be meeting up with him on August 8th to basically talk about going to the church and seeing some things, changing my life, and telling them that I went to Westwood. Went to Westwood Church because I like the music and I like the guitars and the pianos and the music. I thought the music was great. I've been listening to a lot of Christian music, and I feel a lot better. It's kind of like the scene in Blues Brothers where Jake Blues has seen the light. And after my thing on Sunday, after my attempted, of drowning myself, I just want to take a pause for a second to say that we lost a good star today. We lost a good actor, Malcolm Jamal Warner, the guy from the Huxtables. He played Theo. He was a great kid. I looked up to him. He was a great actor. He was a father. He had a daughter. He drowned today in the water, and it wasn't because I was saying that I drowned, but I tried drowning myself last Sunday, and the reason why I did it was because, one, I hit rock bottom. But what happened was when I did it, I saw two angels. They literally pulled my head out of the water, and they said, "What are you freaking doing? Why are you doing this?" And I turned around and I said, I had water all over my bathroom. I could not believe what I did, and I was scared. But here's the thing. I have seen the light. And I want to change. Because the thing is I want to live my life as a positive person. I want to live my life happier. I want to live my life where people can come up to me and not feel like they're scared. And I had that today. So when I went to Jersey Mike's today for lunch or for dinner, I had so many people looking at me like I was glowing. And I had a lady comment on me and tell me that she said that I looked like I was a very nice person to talk to, and I said, well, thank you. I said, you have yourself a great day. These two kids must have got done playing a baseball game or doing something, because one of them had a baseball outfit on, or baseball uniform on. Must have got done playing a game, and just fixated on me and had a big smile on their face. And I looked at them and I had a big smile on my face, and I felt like I was glowing. I felt like I was alive. I really felt like I mattered. But a lot of things are changing in my life. And Brian said to me that if I change my name, it doesn't change my personality. Well, I think my personality has changed. I think I'm a way different person when I'm JakKlauZ. Like when I call myself that. People like the name JakKlauZ. They say it rings really well for me. And they like it. And I do too. So, that's what I have to do. Brian, I love you as a brother. I love you as one of my best friends. But I will tell you right now that the guy that you used to know, the guy who would walk into a party with 40s in his hand and would walk in your house with food all over with food in his hand from McDonald's and everything else, that's not me. I'm a lot different now. I'm the type of guy who likes to go to car shows and go to car shows for the car show. Not going there to try to get with the models like I used to do. No. I go there to talk to people, and I talk to people a lot. But I also talk to people, and I talk to them to show them respect, to try to be their friend, to try to understand that, not everybody there is trying to be a negative person. The other night at the car show on Saturday night, I went there as a totally different person. I saw Tabitha and Isaac and Aaron and Aaron's girlfriend. And I just told Tabitha and Isaac that I loved them so much and I care about them, and Aaron and his girlfriend, I care about them more than anything in the world. And I've realized to myself that one of the reasons why I'm in Minnesota is because I love it in Minnesota. And I have a lot of respect for Darren. I have a lot of respect for Darren because he is a guy that I never thought I would ever get along with him. But I realized to myself that if I just kept trying to be cool with him and just kept trying to be really, really cool with him, maybe someday he'd turn around and we'd be really good buds. And I really do appreciate Darren. I appreciate the hell out of him. I think he's one of the nicest people in the world that I've ever met. I mean, I would give my shirt off my back to Darren all the time. I would. And if people want to say that Darren's this and Darren's that, I'm sorry. Come talk to me about it. But it's like everybody that's on Minnesota After Dark. I went there and started taking pictures. And now people want me to take pictures of their car. But the thing is I just set my camera on auto. Now, I know there are other people who take pictures at Minnesota After Dark. If you want to collaborate, we can always collab. Because the one thing is, I'm not there to be better than anybody else. I'm there just to have a good time. I'm there to understand and respect people at a car show. That's what I do. I'm working on trying to make automotive great again. When I started up the Tracks Revolution, Tracksaholics, because I thought it would be a great website for anybody who loves cars and trucks and dirt and SUVs and drifting and drag racing and all sorts of stuff. Acura, Civics, Hondas, oh my! You know? But there's also other cars in this world. Now, the guy at the car show, the dude with the Dodge, the truck with the flatbed on it. He put a lot of time and effort into that truck, and I really respect that because of the dash. I mean, it's not easy to put a car together and build it, you know? You gotta start with something small and go balls to the wall. I mean, I'm trying to buy another vehicle because I want to turn my Mini Cooper into a sleigh. But asked me, they're like, Jack, what's up with the Mini Cooper? Because there's a guy who plays Buddy the Elf, and you guys know Buddy the Elf. That's the elf from the movie Elf. Yeah, Buddy. Yep, he drives a Bronco, and he's got the roof removed and everything else, and he drives around with a Bronco. The Grinch drives a Slingshot in Minnesota. There's a Grinch that drives around with a Slingshot. There's a guy who drives around in a Bronco, and that's Buddy the Elf. And so, and Santa Claus, you know, he gets to ride around on fire trucks, and he gets to ride around on all kinds of fun stuff. Well, me, I want to take my Mini Cooper, a vehicle that I never ever thought that I would ever buy, and turn it into something that would never represent Christmas, because, you know, a lot of people don't look at it as, you know, as a sleigh. But so I want to cut my sunroof out of it. I want to cut my sunroof out of my Mini Cooper. Yep. And I want to cut the pillars off the side, pull the roof completely off the car, paint it green and red, have like an American flag draped down the middle on the hood, because it's still America. Yeah, still America. I just want to have something that not a lot of people respect, you know. But I want to have a sleigh, you know. But I also want to buy another vehicle to have as a daily driver, an everyday daily driver. You know, as well. I'm looking for a Jeep. I'm looking for a Bronco. I'm looking for even a Tacoma or a, you know, or something like that. You know, I don't know. And then I'm going to go back to a vehicle that I really and truly love, which I almost bought before, but I didn't have the money to buy it. When my friend Evan, who lives in Sauk Center, he had this really nice Cadillac. It had the V8 in it. It was called the CTS. It was called the CTS 4. So it's all-wheel drive. It had a V8 in it. And it was one of the coolest cars in the world. And I love Cadillacs. I love that style of Cadillac because it looked like a car that I could totally get myself into. That, or maybe finding a Charger Max. A Charger Max is a 5.7 liter V8 all-wheel drive Charger. There's that. There's the Chrysler 300 with the V8 in it, all-wheel drive. And I think there's the Chrysler 300 with the V8 in it. I can't remember if it's all-wheel drive or not. But then there's the Cadillac CTS, or the CTS-V, or CTS-4. And if I find the CTS-4, I might buy one. Because Daddy wants a luxury vehicle, but he wants something fast. I'm actually thinking about buying an all-wheel drive Challenger. Because an all-wheel drive Challenger would be really nice for me to have, because I would love it. Because I want to build the Dom's Charger. That's what I want to build. Yeah. I want to build a new school Dom's Charger is what I want to build. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Because I'm just that kind of a guy. Yeah. I want to put a Baja suspension on a Challenger and turn it into a Dom's Charger and call it General Tracks, or call it, you know, Jack's Tracks. Because that's what I want. I want a nice SUV. I want a sleigh. And then I want a sports car. But I'm hoping that, you know, life turns around. Because something's got to give, you know. And guys, it's okay if you guys want to call me, like, you know, Dom. Because I do feel like I'm Dom when I go up to the car show. Because I feel like I'm one of the older people that are walking around up there. I do feel like I'm one of the older people on Minnesota After Dark. And it's okay. Because I do feel like I'm, you know, 10 feet tall and bulletproof sometimes, because it's just the way that I am. But, you know, I just want to be happy is all I want to be. And, you know, and some people are like, Jack, you know, are you happy in Minnesota? And I actually am happy in Minnesota, dude. I am. I actually am happy in Minnesota because I do have, you know, family here. You know, people ask me, like, what do I have in Minnesota? Like, what do I have here? Like, what's here that is keeping me in Minnesota? Well, I actually do have an answer for that. I do have a family here. I have family friends. My barber, Tristan, he's one of my favorite people in the entire world. He, you know, he goes through so much in his life every day to try to live his life and try to be happy. And he's such a good person, and he's such a wonderful dude. And I totally respect him. Yeah. I totally respect him. And I don't want to leave him, because I want to see him succeed. I want to see him go very far. I just, want to be happy. That's what I want, is just to be happy. But it's so hard, every night when you're trying so hard to live your life, to try to be happy for everybody else in this world, and you want everybody else to succeed, but you don't want yourself to go anywhere. But the thing is that, a lot of things that I was going through in life is because, one, I didn't see the light. I didn't see what was in front of me, okay? But now I do. And I'm going to stay here in Minnesota because I have a lot of people in Minnesota here that care about me, I have a lot of circle of friends back home, too, in Minnesota. Friends back home in Virginia that want me to come back there. But if I go there, man, I'm going there to visit. I'm not going there to leave. I like my little 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment that I pay $7.75 a month for. Because the thing is that the reason why I live there is because that's where I feel my saving grace is. I feel like I can make it there. Like, I feel like something good is going to happen. Because, yeah, I'm at home. I live in my little apartment, but the thing is, I make the most out of everything that I have. And I also, have been saying on a lot of my videos that I seriously fucked up Joe's life. I seriously fucked up Joe's life, and I take accountability for that, and I really wish that her and I could start over. Yeah. Do you know that she was right? Yeah. She was right about my parents. And my parents and I are trying to work on problems and work on things. We're trying to work on things, but it's taken this long for me to realize that my parents and I are two different people. Like, I'm way different than my parents. And that I have a different kind of following than my parents. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is I have a different kind of heading, but my parents understand. They understand who I am. They get me. But they wonder why I do things the way that I do things. Like, so they wonder why I spend money on things that I shouldn't spend money on. And Brian said the same thing. Brian's like, dude, you spend money on some of the stupidest things. And he's absolutely right. He is. He's absolutely right. But I'm realizing to myself that I have to save money more than spending money all the time. And that's why I have saved money. I barely ever spend any money anymore. When I buy stuff, I use tip money. Mostly all the time when I go out anywhere or when I buy stuff, I buy it with my tip money from what I make from people who give me money for tips, because I had over $150 in tips in my wallet. I got food, got ice cream from Cold Stone, and basically I've been, just putting it back in my satchel and holding on to it. And then people give me more money when we do tips and when I drive people from work. But one of the things you have to understand is that, dude, I'm happy that what's going to happen, and I feel that there's going to be a positive change in my life. I really do. Because I really do feel like this whole KamoKlauZ thing will take off, because it has to. Because it's something that I started, and it's something that is from the heart. And a lot of people, they understand it and they get it, and they're like, wow, that's a really different kind of thing. But in Minnesota, it fits where it's at. I mean, when people see the whole KamoKlauZ thing, they're like, yeah, Minnesota does need a KamoKlauZ. Because it's cool, because a lot of people here wear KamoKlauZ. Or they wear camo. They wear camouflage. Yeah. A lot of people here wear camouflage. Yes. A lot of people do. It's like one of the biggest outfits. I mean, there are sometimes people who do weddings, and the bride wears a camouflage dress. She'll wear like a white dress with like, camo accents, and then the guys will wear like camouflage with orange ties, which is kind of cool, And the funny thing is that the KamoKlauZ outfit started out as a snow camo. It started out as a snow camo. It started out as a snow camo pair of bibs and a jacket. Fucking dying here. I'm fucking choking on some piece of fucking beef jerky. Fuck. But the whole KamoKlauZ thing started out as a snow camo pair of bibs and a white jacket, and then we dyed it red. Yeah, we dyed it red by going out and buying poly dye and dyeing it red. We did it, actually we did it orange, then we did it red. And it came out okay. Yeah. And it was fine. And it turned out really, really well. But then, when I found the green and red camo, the snow camo, or when I found the Christmas camo colors, when I found those colors, I said to myself, that's a sign. That's a sign that KamoKlauZ is going to be around for a very long time. And I started, doing it. And I've been doing KamoKlauZ now for 13 years. So, I don't understand why it's not taking off, but it will. It's right there. I mean, it's right there. It just needs its big break, And I think this is the year that it's going to be its big break. I think something big is going to happen for me. I mean, I keep listening to the signs. I keep, thinking to myself that something's going to happen. Something's going to turn around. And but you know what, Brian? I listen to you. And I love you, Brian. You're my best bud and my best friend. And it's like I told Jake as well. I told him that something big is going to happen to me. And when it does, it's going to be so big, in fact, that it's probably going to scare me. But it's going to be something that I'm going to need. And if I ever do become big, trust me, I'm never going to forget you guys. No, I'm never going to forget you guys. Because I want Jake and his band Superplex to go so far that they're on the radio. Because they deserve to be on the radio. They deserve to be on the radio. They deserve to be heard. Even if they have to do a KamoKlauZ Christmas song, they'll be heard. I would love to do a KamoKlauZ Christmas song by Superplex. I think that would be so cool. Jordan, if you're listening, I think that would be so badass. But, you know, and I'm trying to do music myself, but I'm trying to do music that's more of a country and Christmas, or country, Christmas, and Christian kind of theme. Because the thing is that I'm trying to change the way that I am. It's no more volleyball breasts, and it's no more, Asian persuasion. It's no more, hip hop or anything like that. It's no more Jacksonist music. It's more of my country. It's more of my country freestyles. It's basically me just sitting there putting together things that'll make me feel better about myself. And I'm hoping I can learn how to play a guitar. But I might even give my music to Quentin David. Because Quentin David is a country singer who is a guy who sings a great song. And, he does a song called Honey, You're Right. And Quentin David is one of my favorite people in the entire world. You guys don't know that I talk about him so much. But I want to do a podcast with him because I want him to, be on my podcast, and I want to meet up with him somewhere and talk to him. Jackson Dillon. Jackson Dillon is another guy that I'm trying to meet. He calls himself Jack Swagger, and he's a musician as well. And he'll be here on August 8th, and he's going to be at the Red Carpet, I think is where he's going to be. I think he's going to be at the Red Carpet, or he's going to be somewhere downtown St. Cloud, but he's going to be playing with his band, and I hope to see him. But I also wanted to hang out with him and collaborate with him on Friday night and just see what he's up to and see what he's doing, and take him out for dinner or talk to him or whatever and get to know him. Because, Jackson Dillon and I were in a movie together. We were in a movie called Let Me Have My Son. It was that movie that I was in where I played an orderly named Big Hungry. And, I basically was in a movie, and Jackson Dillon was one of the characters. He was one of the extras, and he was a great guy, and I really liked him a lot, and I really wanted to talk to him, but I never really got to talk to him much. And Joseph Robertson is the guy that, is my little camo elf, and I really respect him, and I love him a lot, and I just wish that this year him and I could get together when we do our KamoKlauZ thing. Because, that's what I want to do. But I just want to tell you guys that, I do thank everybody for caring about me. I do thank everybody that is following along with me and is seeing all the changes that I'm going through in life and everything that's happening in my life. And I know that I have to get things done. But I really don't know what I want to do. I want to talk. I want to sit down and I want to talk to Joe because I want to talk to her, and I want to talk to her about what's going on. Because like I said, dude, I fucked up the whole entire thing, and I live by that. I live by that, and I will take that to my dying days, that I fucked up a really good thing with a really great woman. Yeah, I messed it up with Joe. Yeah, she's a great woman. Dude, she was the only one that put up with my shit. And I fucked it all up. And she saw the guy who was underneath the beast. Basically, she saw the guy who was, who was going through heartache and pain when it wasn't going his way. But now it seems to be going my way, and things need to just start to turning around. And if they do, I will do whatever it takes to help Joe out. If God is my witness right now, if I was to win the lottery and I have enough money to send Joe back home with her family, Louie and Brenda as well, and have them have enough money to buy a house in England, I would. I would give them whatever it takes for them to live their lives, even if I took my final breath. Because the thing is that I messed up Joe's life so much for 10 years that if there was anything that I could do, I would love to give her my breath so that she could go on. I would love to give her my money so that she could go on. Because I just don't want to be here anymore, because I ruined her life. I know I did. I ruined everything about her. And I really wish that I really just wish that I could tell her that. I really just wish that she would know that, I'm 100% honest in saying that I'm sorry, that I fucking ruined your entire life, and that if there was anything that I could do to make it right, I would seriously make it right. Because Joe, you are right. Yeah, you are right. You know exactly what you want to do with your life. You have your head on straight, while I was too busy having my head up my own ass. But now that I'm by myself, I'm learning that being alone sucks. But, you can also live your life. You can be happy. You can do what you got to do to survive. You can, make it off of, food from home if you really and truly want to. Eat one meal a day if you really and truly want to. Because that's what I'm doing now. I only eat one meal a day. Yeah. But there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think that I fucking ruined it all for all of us. And sometimes I sit here and I think, God, let me win the lottery. Let me win the lottery with enough money so that I can take care of my life, take care of Joe's life, take care of her family, take care of everything. Make up for everything that I did wrong, and take care of it and make it so that it's better. But also take care of all the debts, take care of all the problems, and, and have her go back home to where she can live her life and enjoy it. Because obviously she's not happy here. She's not. She wants to be home with her family. She wants to be home with her sister and her brother and everything else. And I know she does, because she came over here to be with me, and all that was a shit show. So I would love to do everything in my power to help her go back home and be with the ones that she loves. Because obviously there's nothing for her to love here. No, I fucked that all up. And I take full responsibility for that. Yeah, I do. I've said it over and over and over again. I take full on fucking responsibility for being the one that fucked it all up for Joe and her family. But tonight's episode, I'm just telling you right now, it's not putting blame on anything except for myself and taking the responsibilities for the blame. But I am saying that if I had the money to make everything right for Joe and her family, Louie and Brenda too, I would do everything in my power to get them to England to where they can buy a house. Where Brenda and Louie can buy a house, and where Joe and Ruby can buy a house, and where they can live together, where they can be a family. And I wouldn't say anything about it. I would just be like, here you go. I hope this helps you out. I hope this makes you happy. And I hope this makes you feel like you can trust me again. But I don't even have the money, so it would have to be me winning the lottery. You know, hitting one of the jackpots, whether it be Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lotto America. I mean, you know, I would just love to be able to have enough money to take everything and make it right. That's what I'm asking. Because it just has to happen, because it can't be like this all the time. And I messed up everything in Joe's life. I know I did. And I'm the one that's taking full responsibility for it. And all I want to do is change my life. And I want to change my life for the better. I want to keep doing KamoKlauZ until the day I die. Get Tracks Revolution, Tracksaholics to actually become something. Yep, actually become something. And to keep living my life. To being happy. You know? I want to be that guy that has that big farmhouse, so that Minnesota After Dark and everybody can come out to my big farmhouse and we can have a bonfire and we can park cars and park everything in the grass and just have a good time. Nobody has to run away from the cops, or nobody has to hide somewhere. We have a big farmhouse with grass, or, you know, driveway or whatever, where we can park cars and we can have a big field party. And if people come out to my field party, I want you guys to be respectable of me. You know? If you drink, don't drive. No. If you drink, set up a tent. Stay there overnight. Wake up in the morning and then go home. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to be out of my property, and you're going to be living, you're going to stay there and sober up. But I'm not really one to have people drink and get drunk. Yeah. I'm not all about that. That's one of the things that I'm not about. You know, I tell you guys that I don't want to drink because I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't want to get evil or get angry or get mad. Because when I drink, what happens to me is I turn into a real asshole. I start punching, throwing, I start wanting to fight people. That's what happens to me. because, my parents, they're big alcoholics, but they stay home. They don't go to bars and stuff. But what happens to me when I drink, I start to get really angry and I get really upset and I start wanting to fight people. So that's the reason why I don't drink. It's not because I'm trying to prove a point or I'm trying to be sober and be better than all the people. Or no, it's not because I want to be sober to take the girls home either. So if there are girls that think that, fuck you then, okay? Because I'm not trying to stay sober because I want to take you home and take advantage of you. No, that's not what I want to do. I will buy you drinks and buy you drinks and buy you drinks and have you use my ass, or I will be nice and help you out because I want you to have fun. I don't want you to feel left out. I don't want you to feel like you're just, somebody there who's just hanging out. I'll buy you drinks because I care about you. And then I'll drive you home when you're drunk, and I'll put you in your car and you'll fall asleep, or hell, you can even crash at my house, but I'll put you in an air mattress and I'll put your keys somewhere where you can't find them. But I'm not trying to do anything to you. I'm trying to help you stay sober so that you don't get arrested. So, my final thought on the night is this. If people want to hang out with me and people want to love me, I totally respect that. I love and respect all of my friends. I may be a different kind of a person, and I may be a person who seems a little out there. I seem a little wild. I seem a little different. Well, it's because the one thing about me is I try to be everybody's friend. And the one thing you got to understand about me is that all I want to do is just be happy. I just want to be happy. I don't want to be somebody I'm not. And that's about it. Okay? That's my final thought. You guys have yourselves a great night.